I am proud to stand before you today as a sponsor of this legislation that will help support our families and strengthen our communities. House Bill 1001 seeks to ensure that medically fragile newborns receive the best quality human milk so that they can not only survive but thrive. According to the March of Dimes, breast milk has demonstrated health benefits for preterm and low birth weight babies, those weighing about 3 pounds. Nearly 14,000 babies are born preterm in Pennsylvania each year. In fact, our state spent more than $1 billion on medical costs related to prematurity this last year alone. Banked donor milk is evolving in Pennsylvania, and nearly 95% of level 3 and level 4 NICUs, that's the neonatal intensive care units, are using it for their at-risk infants. This is up from less than 37% in 2015. House Bill 1001 provides necessary oversight of a growing and evolving industry that serves the most fragile residents of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And let me emphasize that this legislation only seeks to regulate the entities processing and distributing the milk, not the many mothers who choose to donate. Due to the explosion of demand for donor milk, both by hospitals and the public, many companies are entering into the market. And for these reasons, it is important that Pennsylvania does its job in regulating this. Let me explain how the regulatory structure would work. All milk banks that collect or distribute milk in Pennsylvania must apply to the Department of Health for a license. They would be required to medically screen their donors, to contact the healthcare provider of the donor babies to verify the donor baby is getting adequate growth. The milk must be processed to inactive pathogens, meaning pasteurized, and post-process bacterial cultures must be performed. The Department of Health would have the option of allowing accreditation from recognized professional organizations to fulfill the requirements for licensure. And the Department of Health must inspect the facilities of the milk bank. I do want to address the topic of remuneration because there has been some confusing information being distributed on this. And I want to make it perfectly clear that mothers can still be financially compensated by a for-profit company, but that it is not a mandate, and that the bill requires that the companies that compensate donors apply for an exemption from the Department of Health. They would be required to disclose their donor practices. This is a process identical to the one in New York, where several companies that pay donors have license. The legislation enjoys the support of many organizations and individuals. And let me close by sharing with you a few words from our donating mothers who signed a petition to support House Bill 1001. Milk donation was a rewarding experience, one that I hope other mothers can have. By supporting this bill, I hope that milk bank regulations will offer safe, consistent support for mothers, babies, and families throughout the Commonwealth. And I have donated approximately 40 gallons of dairy-free breast milk since his birth. The milk bank has precautions in place to ensure that my baby gets all the milk he needs before I donate to other babies. I respectfully ask for your affirmative vote on this very important bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.